Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, apologies about that, and also if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well. If there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision related video here on my channel, and my first video of 2023. Happy New Year to all of you. Whether you are returning to my channel or you are brand new, I really do mean it. It means a great deal to me. Thank you very much for all of the support for this channel so far. So, today I am going to be taking a look at the results of the ESC250 poll. As it says here on the website I'm looking at, which is songfestival.be, it says exclusive, here are the results of the ESC Top 250 2022. It has become a tradition that on December the 31st, we all listen to ESC radio for almost 12 hours straight. Everyone wants to see, well actually listen, whether or not their favourite has made the ESC Top 250. Not all songs made the cut, and a lot of you are now anxiously waiting to find out where a song ended up if it didn't make the list. Good news, here is the full top 500 ranking of the edition of 2022. Now I've made videos like this in the past. I think it might have been actually just one video, maybe this time last year, I don't quite remember, but I have made a video about this poll previously, and it's exactly what it says on the tin. People vote online for a couple of months, and on New Year's Eve we find out the results, and the idea is that the winner is pretty much the best Eurovision song we've had to date, I suppose. We do have a new winner, which is quite exciting, I suppose, and very welcome in my opinion. What I'm going to do today is go through the top 100, and I am going to be very, very brief with my thoughts, otherwise this video could be exceptionally long. There's been a bit of talk online as well about how the entire spreadsheet has not been released. And is that because there were some voting irregularities or something like that? I don't really know, nor do I really care. I will go through the songs that I personally voted for at the end of this video, some of which did make the top 100. I haven't really looked at this list at all. I know who won, that's about it. I'm taking a look here. I can see that Georgia 2016 finished 101st, up 110 places on last year, with 1,344 points. I can also see that Celine Dion, Subwoofer, and Stop She Stup did not make the top 100 either. I am a little surprised Subwoofer didn't, but there we are. So let's go through the top 100, let me know your thoughts. These are, of course, fan votes. So in 100th place is Azerbaijan 2020, Effendi Matahari, 1,370 points, a fall of about 30 places or so there. It's a good song. It was a pretty good live performance, although I think it needed something a little extra to make it really stand out from the field, because the result on the night wasn't actually that impressive. In 99th place, up many, many places, is Greece 2008, Calamira Secret Combination. This finished in the top 3, probably should have won. Great performance, costume change, the pink outfit. There's been rumours Calamira could come back to Eurovision at some point soon. It's not a bad song whatsoever. In 98th place is the winner for Luxembourg in 1973, Tu te reconnaîtras, by Anne-Marie David, who would come back and represent France several years later. This is a fine winner, great vocals, very powerful stuff, one of the strongest winners we've ever had. Certainly in terms of the results and the voting percentage, the amount of points that went to the winner, very, very high under the old system. So, yeah, I'm not too surprised to see that in the top 100. 97, up a couple of places, is Italy 2013. This is Marco Mengoni with L'Essenziale. He, of course, is back in Sanremo this year. Great song, very simply performed, in the suit. Very casual, in a way, how this was delivered on stage. But it's a lovely song, one of my favourites from that year. Then we have my winner of 2009, Johanna Is It True for Iceland. Beautiful ballad, would have won in any other year had Alexander Rybak not been there. You had the cello, Johanna there in the blue dress. Beautiful performance, great voice, lovely stuff. Then we have Israel 2005, Shiri Maimon Chasheket Shenishar. This is a great ballad as well. That big note at the end, somebody pretending to play the piano. Really, really nice. Arguably should have pushed for the win a bit harder than it did. This finished 4th in the end, back in 2005 in Kiev. And this is a great example of a song that at the time I was very indifferent about, but now I really enjoy. Then we have, I'm not surprised to see this, Vishlat Nyar, AWS. Of course, the lead singer passed away a few years ago, which is very sad. This was Hungary's entry in 2018 in Lisbon. Just over 1,500 points for this. Heavy metal stuff, screamo in a way. Great live performance with the fire, the flashing lights, the energy. So different from everything else that year. The result may be a tad disappointing in the end. Then we have Portugal 2019. This didn't qualify. Telemoveias, Conan Osiris. For me, a bit overrated coming into that contest anyway. People were loving this, and in the end, people just sort of forgot to vote for it. The public certainly liked it more than the juries. The juries had this last in that first semi-final, which is a bit harsh, but also not terribly surprising thinking about it. This was so different, a little bit on the avant-garde side. I mean, we really don't get many songs like this whatsoever. It was something very different, very daring, very risky, and it just did not pay off. If you ask me, I am quite shocked people are still voting for that song in big numbers. But there we are. Then we have Love Shine a Light, Katrina and the Waves, the UK's last winner, Dublin 97. Probably the Eurovision anthem. Katrina there in her green shirt, which I believe she bought from a charity shop just a few days prior to the event itself. Just wonderful, cliched perhaps in terms of the lyrics, but it's such a stirring anthem and a very worthy winner. It won by a mile. Then we have Ukraine 2004. This is a bit low. Ruslana, Wild Dances, absolutely fantastic. Out of the 3 Ukrainian winners we've had so far, this is by a mile my favourite. The energy, the striking nature of it, cracking that whip, great stuff. Then we have a real fan favourite, Croatia 1999, Maria Magdalena, Doris Dragovic. This was her second Eurovision entry. Maria Magdalena, da, 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 da. I mean, that just gets stuck in your head. This was good stuff. I've never really loved it, but I'm not surprised to see it here. Moving on, an old gem. France Gall, Poupée de Cire, Poupée de Son. They've got the date wrong for this. It wasn't 2019. It was Naples 65. This is a classic. Serge Gainsbourg wrote it. Lyrics, I mean, you can read into them. Certainly a lot of people have over the years. Maybe they're a bit on the dodgy side. That's up for debate. But this is an absolutely terrific Eurovision winner. A very worthy winner. Maybe the live performance, we can't really judge it that much because back in the 60s Eurovision was a different thing entirely compared to nowadays. But maybe she was a bit nervous, maybe she wasn't completely bang on the money with it, but it still won, and it holds up today. Splendid, so catchy, it's got a real sort of yay-yay swinging melody to it. Absolutely fantastic. I'm waffling, let's move on. Then we have Victoria for Bulgaria 2021. Growing Up is Getting Old. This is great. Beautiful ballad. Performing on that rotating rock structure on stage. Somebody was inside that, if you didn't know, turning it as she performed. I really love the way this song ends, a cappella. Some of the camera angles, the shots in this performance, just tremendous. Lovely stuff. Then we have Sebi, Slovenia 2019, Jala Krauj and Gaspar Santel. I've spoken about this song many, many times in the past. She did all the work. He just stood there, rocking slightly backwards and forwards for 3 minutes, peering into her eyes in a somewhat creepy manner, you could argue. But this is a lovely track, very low-key, very atmospheric, lovely stuff. Then we have Netta, the winner in Lisbon 2018 for Israel with Toy. This has actually risen quite a few places, but it's still really low, considering it's not that old a winner. Arguably Cyprus, way more popular these days. The runner-up, of course, in that Lisbon competition. But Netta did a splendid job. She sang really well. The swinging arm ornaments next to her on the cats, you'll remember. Yeah, this was good. And I'm not surprised it won at all. But I think now, several years later, many Eurovision fans would say that arguably Cyprus perhaps should have taken the win instead. I don't know. It is what it is. Let's move on. Albania 2018. Fantastic. Above the winner. Woof! From the same year. This is Mal by Eugen Bush-Pepper. All about the vocals. One of the very best, if not the best song Albania has sent to date in the competition. This was so good. It was staged in a fairly simple manner, but he just sang so well. Those notes, brilliant. And I'm so glad this is 85th in the list. Then we have Fabrizio Moro Malmetta, 2018 again, Non mi avete fatto niente. This is good. I like it more than I did at the time. I think it's my number 10 of that year. Very powerful, passionate in terms of its delivery, the message of the song, really good. Then we have a song I voted for, Occidentalis Karma, Francesco Gabbani, who did try again a couple of years ago to represent Italy once more. He was the runner-up in Sanremo. But anyway, Occidentalis Karma, Westerners Karma, 2017, Italy, Kiev, 1,653 points for this. Very good. It was the clear favourite to win at one stage, and then it fell by the wayside. The Sanremo performance, much better than his Eurovision performance, if you ask me, but still top-notch. I'm glad it's in this list. Then we have a song from this year, France, Fulen, Alvan Anderhez, flopped on the night big time, surprisingly so. Maybe it was just a case of being the best of the rest. It was never really a front-runner, and a lot of people did rank this quite highly, but Eurovision's ruthless. You've got to be at that level, otherwise the points just won't come in. And for France, that was the case this year. Right back to square one, it feels like. Talking of which, with France, I've seen a little bit online over the past 2 days or so, saying that apparently there is no national final for France this year, and it's an internal selection and the artist has already been chosen. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. It's probably an absolute load of tosh, but we'll find out soon enough. Let's move on. Christian Kostov, Bulgaria, 2017. This, for me, is a tad on the overrated side. He was very young at the time, performed it well enough, but I've never really been infatuated with this track. Moving on, we have Switzerland 2019. This is 80th place. She Got Me, Luca-Hani, fantastic. Loads of red, very much a red colour scheme for this performance. A bit of choreography, executed in a very slick manner. Can't really say much more than that. It definitely deserved the result it got. Okay, now we have a surprise. Lindita with World, Albania 2017. This didn't even qualify, and you've got this above She Got Me. You've got this above Occidentalis Karma. I don't think so. I find that incredibly surprising. I'm looking at this here. 112 points this song got, and then a smattering of other points by other people. This looks like a real anomaly in the list, let me tell you that right now. I think this is an okay song, a bit of a vocal powerhouse performance once again from the Albanians, but 79th in the list, generous, if you ask me. Norway 2013, Margaret Berger, I Feed You My Love. This is deserved. It's down a couple of places, but this is great. This sort of modern pop with slight electro sounds. Unbelievably, this is nearly a decade old, which means it's nearly a decade since Adelien performed at MGP as well. Jesus wept, I can't believe it. This is a great song, no doubt about it, fantastic. Deserved its top 5 result. Then we have Estonia 2009, my apologies, Randayad. This is great, very beautiful, feels very otherworldly. I'm surprised it's not higher. Moving on, Erik Saade, Popular, Sweden 2011, my winner that year. The lyrics are pretty damn dreadful if you ask me, but he performed it well, very slick, you know, handsome guy doing his thing. Probably should have won in 2011, I don't know. Still a song I listen to quite regularly today, I think it's fair to say. Then we have Switzerland 2020. Yes, the cancelled competition. Répondez-moi. This is great. What more can you say? Vocals, sublime. One of the best singers I've heard in Eurovision in all the years I've been watching it. Really likeable guy. Really hitting those notes. Staged in a very professional, engaging but simple manner. Fantastic. Then we have my winner of 2020, the cancelled contest, Ulrika for Norway. Attention. Will she be back in MGP? We'll find out very soon because the artists are being announced shortly. This is just a wonderful ballad with the falling rain pyrotechnics. Shetel Merdan co-wrote it, and everything he does turns to gold, pretty much. Can't say much more than that. It is a wonderful, wonderful song. So atmospheric. Then we have Bosnia, 2006. This finished third. Harry Matahari with Layla. This is arguably one of the best songs from any Balkan nation in the history of the contest. I use that word atmospheric again because it really is. The starry backdrop, a band that have been going for absolutely ages, vocally strong, stirring stuff. Fantastic. Fantastic. Probably should have finished in second place ahead of Russia. Then we have Framling by Carola. She was so young at the time. Munich 1983. This is 72nd in the list. It's a very catchy number. It's not one I really go back to that often. Yeah, it's quite carefree, very playful stuff. It's fine. Let's move on. Loco Loco, Hurricane for Serbia, 2021. Yeah. This was good. Very good. I think they were maybe a bit reliant on the backing vocals, but it was still a really strong performance and something a bit different from Serbia, you know, girl power and all of that. It was good. And their entry in 2020 was pretty strong as well. Then we have Common Linnets, Calm After the Storm, Netherlands 2014. This got my 12 points. I can't talk any more highly about this song. That's what I'm trying to say. It is so good, and I wish we had more songs like this in the contest. Then we have Turkey, 2009, Dum Tek Tek Hadisa. I've never really loved this song, but I can understand why it's here. It's catchy, the red outfit, the pyro. This was in Moscow, of course, all those years ago. Yeah, pretty solid mark. Then we have Bulgaria 2016, Polygenova, If Love Was a Crime. This is a song that I liked at the time, but I like it even more now. Cesar Sampson, one of the backing singers. The light up outfit. Very good stuff. Then we have Ochman, River, Poland this year. 67th in the list. Great vocalist. Not so sure about some of the on-screen camera effects, which I'm sure you'll recall. But it got Poland back into the final. Then we have a song from this year as well. Shamame by Wursh, Romania this year. 2,042 points. This song got Romania back into the final. Yeah, this did quite well in the public half of the results. It's a good song, very catchy, performed well. Ola me bebe, Yamame, you know, it just gets stuck in your head. It's good stuff. And it was second in the running order too, so it did very well. Then we have Armenia 2016, Iveta Mukutsyan, Love Wave, like it more now than I did at the time. Quite a sensual performance, you know. Very different from everything else that year. Not surprised it did well. Then we have Snap by Rosalind. And I have to say, I am a little shocked this song has done so well after this year's competition. It's done so well all over Europe. It's still in the charts in a lot of countries, I believe. But then again, when you listen to it, it feels very radio-friendly. It feels quite current somehow. So maybe it's not that much of a shock that Rosalind has gone on to do very well for herself. 64th in this list, that's not too bad. I think it might fall quite significantly next year, though. Then we have Cyprus this year with Ella. Wow, okay, that's interesting. Didn't qualify, juries hated it. Very harsh. Public would have had this through. That seashell type structure on stage, was it not? This wasn't bad at all. But it just came up short in that second semi-final. What else is there to say? Then we have Undo, Sanna Nielsen, Sweden 2014. This is fine. It only just won Melfest ahead of Ace Wilder. It's a great ballad, but I've never loved it. Then we have Sergei. This is Russia 2016, You Are the Only One. Russia just threw the kitchen sink at the contest that year. He had the screen that he interacted with and climbed over. I mean, this was just big, big stuff. You could tell Russia were absolutely trying damn hard to win the contest that year. The jury said, I don't think so. He ended up finishing third. But it is a pretty good song. Then we have Satellite by Lena. This is down quite a few places. Oslo 2010. It's a good winner. It's as simple as that. Lena was so young at the time, singing in this very odd English accent. But she's had a terrific career since. Every album she's released in Germany has done wonders for her. So really need to listen to some more of her recent material. This was a very good winner. Then we have Eres tu. Mocedades, Spain, 1973. Above the winner that year in this list. Ooh, interesting. Great ballad. Did well in America. One of Spain's very best. Got to get through this. Şebnem Pakır and Group Ethnic, Dinle, Turkey, 97. Their best result to date at the time. This is so catchy. And this was early in the running order too, and it did so well. Oh man. Beautiful woman. She of course represented Turkey the year before this as well with Besinci Mevsim, but this is the stronger entry. Fantastic, real fan favourite. Then we have, and I'm amazed this is so low, Dancing Lasha Tumbai, Verka Serduchka for Ukraine 2007. I am absolutely amazed that is so low in this list. It's actually risen quite a few places from 2021 result. Yeah, it's a good song, but it is very repetitive, isn't it? Let's be honest. Then we have Tears Getting Sober. Well, I would have had Growing Up Is Getting Old way above this. Victoria again, Bulgaria 2020. Was the favourite to win when the contest was cancelled because of the pandemic. It's a lovely ballad, but I'm really not sure it would have won. Then we have Secret by Ronela Hayati, Albania this year. This is a good entry, but the live performance was slipshod beyond belief. I've seen people online saying that it was such a good live performance. I'm thinking, what were you watching? It really was very much on the messy side. It was over-sexualised. Not that that really bothered me, but it didn't need to be like that whatsoever. That was the problem. They made it something it didn't need to be. And the juries weren't keen at all. It didn't qualify. Then we have Serbia and Montenegro 2004, Željko and the Ad Hoc Orchestra, Lani Mohia. Beautiful song, like with Israel I mentioned earlier on. This is a song that at the time I was a bit about, but now I really love it. The instrumental is just fantastic. Norway 2015 and Monster Like Me. There's that man again, Kjetil Mørland and Deborah Scarlett. This is a great, great ballad. Honey, what am I to you? Or whatever it is. Fantastic. Love this song. Staged so well. Tells a story. Wonderful. Hard Rock Hallelujah, Finland 2006. Lordi. Surprised that this is so low on the list. Again, through the kitchen sink at the performance, the outfits, the makeup, the pyros. Finland were like, we've had enough of being crap at this contest. We are going to absolutely blow away the opposition. That's what they did. Still holds up today. Ooh-ah, just a little bit. The last UK entry to go to number one in this country. 1996, Gina G. She was in this gold sort of chain link style dress. There was a computer on stage that wasn't even plugged in. The 90s. What an era. But this song, oh yeah, it's good stuff. And this was early in the running order, and I think it finished about 8th, which was surprising, I think, at the time for a lot of people, because this really should have challenged for the win. Absolutely. But alas. Then we have We Are Domi Lights Off, Czech Republic this year. Fantastic. They've broken into the top 50 here. They'll fall quite a few places next year, I'm sure. This was great. Opened the final, all the flashing lights, staged so well. And lots of computer equipment on stage for that one as well, funnily enough. Then we have Love Injected, Latvia 2015. I've never loved this song, but what great vocals from Aminata, who probably should have gone to Eurovision last year in Turin, but she was beaten by Chiti Zeni. I haven't seen them in the list yet. That's quite interesting, but there we are. Then we have Mahmoud and Blanco, Brividi, Italy this year. Huge hit, sold so many copies in Italy and other places as well. It's a lovely ballad. The live version is not as good as the studio cut, but it got the result I think we were all expecting in Turin. Top 10. Then we have Antique Die For You, Greece 2001, probably the only song from 2001 to do any good in this poll. Yes, I think that if this contest was restaged now, Greece would win. It's Helena Paparizou, of course. Where's My Number One? Haven't seen that in this list yet. It's a good song. That slinky white outfit. Good stuff. Then we have Blind Channel Dark Side, Finland 2021. I can't say last year anymore. It's 2 years ago. Great rock number, well performed, and did so well in the public half of the results. I really like it. Then we have La Noche es para mí by Soraya Raunelas, Spain 2009. This finished nowhere in that contest, and it's 44th. 132, 12 points. That's bizarre. This song is fine, but it is not one of the best 44 Eurovision entries we've ever had. That's unusual. Then we have Only Teardrops, down 2 places. This is great. Worthy winner. a decade ago. It really was. Azerbaijan was second, but this is a cut above for me personally. I listen to it quite regularly. I've got Emily DeForest's album on my shelf somewhere. She's only a few weeks younger than me. You have the sort of flute, the guys banging the drums. Yes, lovely track, nothing more to say. Then we have Every Way That I Can, Turkey 2003. Worthy winner, only just one ahead of Belgium, of course, but this was the right winner. You got a bit of belly dancing on stage, good vocals, really good, and early in the running order. Impressive. Then we have Sentimente, Monica Liu, Lithuania last year. This is fine. Really wasn't keen on it at all last spring. I knew it was going to win the national final because it was getting 12 points from the public and what have you, and I thought this is probably likely to be the Lithuanian entry for Turin, so it came to be. Still don't love it, but I like it more than I did. Very relaxing to listen to. Then we have Vuelve Conmigo, Annabella Conde, Spain 1995. Yeah, good song, very powerful vocals, really, really belting it out at certain points in this song. Great stuff. Then we have Stefania. Woof! Kalush Orchestra are 39th in this list. You can go into a whole debate on Twitter, places like that, and say, Spain was the real winner. Well, no, they weren't. Ukraine were. But, in my absolute honest opinion, Spain's song is way more popular than Stefania. It arguably was when last year's contest took place. Certainly these days, Slow Mo is a lot more popular than Stefania, but it's a good song. You know, it was a very different sort of winner because it had a bit of rapping in it, mixing more traditional sounds and elements. There was a lot of sympathy for this song, but it probably still would have won anyway. Let's be honest. It's a nice track. I've got nothing else to say about it. I'm surprised it's so low. Sound of Silence, Australia, 2016, Damiim, fantastic. She may well represent Australia again very soon, who knows. I mean, this was, again, a vocal powerhouse performance. Then we've got El Diablo. This is a little high, but it's a very good song. Elena Sagreanu, Rotterdam, 2 years ago. Open the Final, very sexy. Red lights, the words behind her, up in flames. Yeah, very good, very good. Mid-table result, though. Rise Like a Phoenix, this is fairly low. Austria's winner in 2014, Conchita. As much as I love the Dutch entry, this was a great winner that year as well. And so well performed, very Bond theme-esque, not much else to say. Cyprus 2012 in 35th place, La La Love, Ivy Adamu. Excuse me, this was mid-table. She was performing on this structure that looked like it was made out of books or something. In that dress, with her group of girls dancing next to her as well. I'd like to see her come back to Eurovision, you know. I think she'd be very good. She's had a very good career. Then we have Turkey 2010, the runner-up that year. Manga, We Could Be the Same. Bit of a rock number. The Woman in the Mask. Pyros. Loads of flashing lights. Pretty good. It feels weird, though, that this was the runner-up. I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's a good song, though. Then we have Dancing in the Rain, Spain, 2014, fantastic, belted it out. Really, really wonderful. The public had this nowhere. In the public half of the results, absolutely nowhere. Disgraceful. The juries liked it more. I think this finished about 10th on the night. Then we have Hatrithmon Sigra, Iceland 2019, Hattari, very good. Wasn't keen on it at all when it was chosen as the Icelandic entry. Then at the contest, I liked it. Now I like it very much. Then we have Greece 2022. Amanda Tenfjord, Die Together. 3,376 points for this. Very, very good. What a ballad. Public had it in the top half, but not really, really high. Juries were much more keen, which is not a shock. Yeah, great song. Then we have Amar pelos dois. Salvador Sobral, Portugal's winner, 2017. Fantastic. You know, nothing fancy about it whatsoever. He was on the secondary stage. Lovely. It's just a lovely, lovely, relaxing song. And again, when this was chosen as the Portuguese entry, I really didn't like this. It was my least favourite of the year. And it wasn't a personal qualifier up until about 2 years ago when I updated my rankings of all of the contests of my lifetime. Now, I enjoy it for what it is. My opinion has really changed on this song. Then we have Goodbye to Yesterday. I voted for this. Estonia 2015, Elina Bornstig Rasta. Fantastic. On early in the running order. The whole thing with silhouettes at the national final. They had that sort of living room thing going on. Fantastic. Nothing more to say. Portugal 2022, Maro Saudada Saudada, 28th in this list. That's quite deserved. Lovely track, early in the running order. Group of women around her, clapping away. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Then we have Molitva. This should be a bit higher. Maria Sherifovic, the winner for Serbia in 2007. Brilliant, brilliant performance. Totally pared back. Nothing really that striking about it. It was all about the vocals. Tremendous. Then we have Belgium 2015, Loic Notte, Rhythm Inside. This really came up on the rails a couple of weeks before that contest. It was sort of expected to reach the top 10, but then people were starting to say this could win, this could win. 4th place in the end. Very good. Very slick. Then we have Heroes, Måns Zelmerlöw, Sweden's winner in 2015. Won Melfest by a mile. Sort of won Eurovision by a mile as well. Italy were the public's favourite, but the juries loved Måns, and he can't stay away from Eurovision. It's as simple as that. Then we have Norway, 1995, Nocturne, Secret Garden. I listened to this very recently. It is such a great winner. Why do we not have songs like this anymore? Okay, it's thin on lyrics, but in terms of the violins and that haunting feel to it, we just don't get enough songs like that anymore, and I really don't know why. This is great. Holds up today. Blanche, City Lights. I voted for her in previous polls. Belgium 2017. Oh, she's nervous, she's nervous. This is flopping hard, blah, blah, blah. She made the top 4. That's all I've really got to say about this. Fantastic from Belgium. Then we have, and actually with Blanche, she doesn't really do music anymore. I think it's because she's a student, but she really doesn't post much on social media or anything. So I think she's going down a different career path. But one of my favourite Eurovision acts over the past few years, definitely. Then we have ABBA, Waterloo, Brighton 1974, 22nd in this list. We don't need to talk about this song because everybody knows it. It's a classic. Grande Amore, there's the public's favourite in 2015, Il Volo for Italy, 21st place, down a few places in this poll. It's a great song, great harmonies, last in the running order, won the public vote very comfortably. It is what it is. Then we've got Helena, my number 1. I wondered when that would surface. 20th in this list, up 11 places. Kyiv 2005, the only Greek win to date. Very good. Choreography, she looked great, sounded good. What else is there to say? To l'univers. Ah, yes, we've already had John's Tears. This is his entry from 2021. Yes, this was so good. I was talking about Répondez-moi, wasn't I? I think I got the two songs mixed up, so my apologies. Répondez-moi was the song for the cancelled contest, so we never saw that on the Eurovision stage. This one, To l'univers, we did. It's down a couple of places. It's a lovely track. Those high notes, tremendous. Then we've got De Diepte. I gave this 1 point because I've really listened to it a lot ever since it became, or rather it was revealed as the Dutch entry last year. Ace-Teen, definitely going to be keeping an eye on her career moving forwards. I think she might have an album out this year. She's great. This was so good. I loved her outfit. Really did. Very simply done. Sounded really good. Public weren't so keen, but did have it in the top half. Juries liked it more. Yeah, really, really good. Then we've got Soldi by Mahmoud, Clap Clap, Italy 2019. This is good. I don't adore it, but it is a very good song. Wouldn't be surprised if he tried for Italy again in the near future. Then we've got Fairy Tale, massive winner, of course. Alexander Rybak, Norway 2009. Worthy winner, playing the fiddle. Grin on his face, still sounds and looks pretty much the same as he did all those years ago. Moving on, 1944, Jamala, bit overrated. I would have had Wild Dances ahead of this. It's down 1 place from the previous poll. This is, of course, Ukraine 2016. I remember feeling very disappointed when this won, but it's so powerful and there's a message behind it. Very similar to Stefania. And Jamala is still very much involved with Eurovision. She was part of the jury in Vidbeer fairly recently. She might well play a part in the Liverpool contest a few months from now. Yeah, I've never loved this track, but I can understand why people do. Then we have Spaceman, Sam Ryder. I was aware of his result, 14th. The UK last year, sublime. He's been everywhere. You cannot turn on the TV without seeing this man's face. He was there performing as part of the New Year celebration the other day. He was on TV performing Stevie Wonder, and Sigrid turned up, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Sigrid for Norway next year. or rather this year, and he was sounding really good, and he's been doing loads of other things as well. He was there for the Queen's Jubilee thing, I think, last year. I mean, he's had an exceptional 12 months. He really has, and the only way is up for Sam Ryder. Then we have Spirit in the Sky, Kano. Rumours are they could be back. We'll find out in a few days. They did try, of course, the other year, but lost to Tix. We all know how that ended up. Spirit in the Sky is a great song, very feel-good. Was the public's winner in 2019 for Norway. Fantastic. Serbia, I'm not surprised this is so high. Serbia last year, Incorpore Sano Constrato, another example. I've just knocked my desk, apologies. But this is a great example of a song that at the time didn't really like. Now I enjoy it for what it is. Very, very different. Rattling through this now. Spain 2012, Quédate conmigo, Pastora Soler. Everybody seems to love this, but let's not forget, at the time, the public barely voted for it. Mid-table with the public in that half of the results in 2012. Absolutely outrageous. And it happened with Ruth Lorenzo as well, as I mentioned earlier, a couple of years after this. Absolutely outrageous. It's a tremendous ballad, one of the best Spain's ever had. Then we have Voila, France, Barbara Pravi, who is a two-time Junior Eurovision winning songwriter. Unbelievable, because those songs, compared to this that she had in the adult contest, very, very different. But she's a bit of a lucky charm for the French these days. Great song, staged so simply but so well. Always likely to challenge for the win, and it did. Then we have Fai Rumore Diodato, he's up a few places. Italy 2020, the cancelled competition. This is a brilliant ballad, it really is. It probably would have won had the contest gone ahead. Then we have one of my favourites from 2003, Dime by Beth. This does so well every year, and it's quite surprising. I'm surprised it's so high year after year, but it is what it is. It's a good song. The live performance maybe wasn't that great. She was a bit out of tune. Scantily clad. I think she was about 18 or 19 at the time. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. It's catchy stuff. Then we have Duncan Lawrence, Arcade. This will fall year after year now. What's he done since Arcade? I know he's released a few songs and an album, I believe, but nothing has really hit the heights as much as this song did. Likeable guy, and a very good ballad behind the piano when the light comes down. Oh, you know, really good song, but I haven't listened to it a whole lot over the past year. Then we've got Shum Goe. Really good, starts off slow and then it turns into this rave type number. We all know it, it's down 3 places. Very, very good. Zitti Buoni, Italy's winner in 2021, that's nearly 2 years ago now. Maneskin, fantastic, I voted for this, it got my 10 points. New album, Rush, is coming out very soon. I just listened to their new single, La Fine I think it's called, very good. I've still got a newspaper cutting up here on my wardrobe door that says Maneskin, Zitti Buoni, rock and roll never dies. Cut that out of a newspaper not long after they won the other year. Still listen to all of their music quite regularly. Great stuff. Victoria De Angelis is a very, very beautiful woman. Then we have Fuego. I was mentioning it earlier, Eleni Ferreira. If she came back to Eurovision, everybody would be wetting themselves with excitement. Really don't have much to say about this. It was so striking, so good. Very sexy, of course. But clearly, on this occasion, sex sold. You know. Then we have Hold Me Closer, my winner last year, Cornelia Jacobs. This was so good. The national final performance. I was a little worried that Anders Bagger was going to do it. Thank God he didn't, because it wouldn't have done nearly as well as this. Saying that, Bigger Than the Universe is a song I like more now than I did at the time. But anyway, Cornelia, she's great. Need to listen to some of her other music, absolutely. I've just been putting it off. Hold Me Closer is so, so lovely. Builds up nicely. Packs a punch. Great stuff. Then it's Euphoria by Loreen, the runner-up. 23,248 points, my apologies. I mean, obviously going to win in 2012. Ahead of the Russian grannies. But if you take a look at the split results, Loreen only just finished above the Russian grannies. So if it had been 100% public vote, it would have gone down to the wire. Which is appalling in a way. If I'm being completely honest with you, I still can't get over the fact that the Russian grannies nearly beat this song, because this song is in another league to pretty much everything else, let's be honest, that was in the 2012 contest. She's back, trying to represent Sweden again this year. Wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if that happens. But the winner, Slow Mo Chanel, I know some people think this is overrated, but she performed the hell out of it. It was so professionally done. It was a cut above. It's as simple as that. She was in it to win it. And I go on about this all the time. You are in it to win it. And she was. And she started off very well in the jury results and then faded ever so slightly. Public mark was very good. It was wonderful to see Spain not languishing in the bottom half yet again. Instead, third place, deserved, in my personal opinion. But I think they're going to be hard pushed to finish that high this year, based on what we've heard in Benidorm Fest's lineup, which of course starts very soon, the Spanish national selection for 2023. It's going to be Quiero a ver, in my opinion. I'm going off on a tangent now, but I think it's going to be Agoné in Liverpool. We wait and see. But yes, slow-mo, 35,376 points, well ahead of the rest. Everybody sort of saw this coming, though, because there was a screenshot that was posted online weeks before the results. I didn't vote for it, but it is one of my favourites of last year's contest, and people will be talking about it for years and years to come. I should say that I voted for, this is top to bottom, so my 12 went to Calm After the Storm, Common Linnets, that was 70th. Maneskin were 5th. Anna Bergendahl, This Is My Life, was 281st. Then we have Cornelia Jacobs, who was 3rd, Elena Bourne and Stig, 29th, Ulrika, 74th, Francesco, 83rd, that is quite low. Open Your Heart for Iceland 2003, Birgitta, 466th. I gave it 3 points. And then we have For Real, Turkey 2004, Home Soil, Athena, 272nd. If you've never seen the live performance, check it out on YouTube. It's one of the best live performances there's ever been in Eurovision. And then De Diepte, Netherlands last year, was 18th, of course. I'm now going to finish this video. It's been a long one, and it was a massive ramble. If you've stuck with me this long, thank you so much. Here's to more content moving forwards, and hopefully better quality content. I really just want to make this point before I wrap up this very messy video. I am so aware that the quality of my videos is pants in comparison to a lot of other people's. That's because my machine is ancient. But all being well, things will be improving within the next couple of months. I really hope so. And do bear with me in that department. If there has been any lag or anything else, I can only apologise. But thank you for all of the support. My next video is probably going to be me sitting here talking about my plans for this channel moving forwards and potentially attending this year's competition. We will soon know, I'm sure, details about tickets, the stage design, logo, the allocation draws at the end of this month. I'll be talking about that moving forwards. Until then, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and thank you so much for all of the support. See you soon. Bye for now.